Today's guest is the most outspoken Muslim in Britain.
Someone from my background would be an apologist for Muslims, would be an apologist for Pakistanis. You see those social media influencers all the time. That's what people expect. That you're part of the community, you defend the community, you defend Muslims, you defend Pakistanis. People like me are not common.
After seeing what the Pakistanis and Muslims were doing in Britain, she had enough and she spoke out.
Everyone helped me apart from the Muslims. For Muslims, you can't be Muslim enough. A lot of these Muslims are hypocrites themselves. They won't pray 5 times a day and they won't do all the stuff, or they will do the stuff but then they will do bad stuff, and they're complete hypocrites. But then they will always try to make you feel guilty for not being Muslim enough.
In this episode, we'll hear from the voice that has divided the Muslim community and expose the players who are trying to keep her silence and question if she is really the villain they say she is. Or this is just the conversation that the British Muslims don't want to have.
I think what's more hard for me was how my relatives didn't, especially my siblings, they didn't bother with me. That was more hard. I've got 2 sisters. She essentially said, I'm alone in this.
Candid with Lubna.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's I've been waiting to get you on. We just didn't get the time to actually get you on quick on the show. I think a lot of people have referred me to get you on the show, and I think I'm glad that we actually got to do this, and I am really glad. But we're gonna cover a lot of stuff today. But before we get into everything, I want to know who you really are, because how I got to know you was I wouldn't say it was the best way to get to know somebody. I think when you see somebody in tears, pleading for help, that's how I got to know you. There was a video that went viral, the video that you made, the live stream that you were on, and that's how I got to know you. But I'm sure there's more to you than just that, and I want to get to know who you really are, and I'm sure the viewers also kind of want that too. So who's Lubna? If I was your classmate in year 7, who were you?
Oh, so this is obviously a big question. Who am I? And I would say it's probably going to take the rest of my life to figure out who I actually am. Right. And it's one of those questions that everyone's trying to answer in terms of philosophy. Year 7, I would say throughout my whole life, I've been a geek. So I would have been one of the geeks in the class, the annoying child where the teacher asks a question and I would have my hand up. Those kind of people. I never used to swear. And I used to follow the rules, and I used to mind my own business, essentially. Wasn't horrible to anyone. I wasn't a bully. I wasn't one of the popular kids. I was just a geek. I loved studying. And I was a little bit, I guess, socially awkward because I never used to speak much with people. Obviously that was like year 7 when I was like 11 years old.
Right.
Until the whole of high school. I'm just a normal person. I'm not anyone special. I'm just a concerned citizen. I'm a concerned mother. I see how this country has changed, and I don't necessarily feel that it's changing for the better. You know, I'm all for multiculturalism, where everyone if the cream of the crop is coming from all around the world and they're bringing the best foot forward, I'm all for that. I don't mind that. I don't have an issue. My own parents were migrants. You know, I'm not someone who's white, you know, I'm not ethnically British. So I'm not out to get ethnic minorities, obviously. And I've myself have experienced racism, severe racism, when I was growing up on a council estate in Luton. So, and I've never shied away from speaking about that topic. So where some of the people from my race and faith would say, oh, she's a sellout. And that's actually not true, because if they actually bother to listen to what I'm saying, I speak about everything. You know, but I guess when I approach things, I'm much more open-minded than them, because sadly, a lot of them, they're in that little echo chamber with only speaking to Muslims, only speaking to Pakistanis. They don't understand actually what people really think about us, how they really feel about us. And my issue with the community, and when I say community, I'm not part of a community. I'm just speaking about those people from my race and faith. My issue is that I don't think they're listening properly to the issues people are having with us. Either they're not listening, and even when they do listen, they lack the critical reasoning skills to really understand, or they're just generally ignorant, or they're just very arrogant, where they don't care. Okay, yeah, you think this about us, I don't care. I'm here anyway. I'm a British citizen like you. I will do what I want. You can't stop me. And they're right to an extent, right? Because
Mm.
sadly, the way things have gone in the UK is we don't have standards.
Right.
Any
Yeah.
Tom, Dick, and Harry can just walk into this country. Well, not walk in, sorry, come by boat. They'll grab a boat. That boat will then be sent back to get more people. That's what it seems. That's what
Yeah.
is being reported, right?
Mm.
So it's there are lots of issues. It's not just fake asylum seekers. It's also even those people coming here legally, or even those people who may have come here a few decades ago, and they've had children here and grandchildren here. Just because someone has lived here a long time doesn't necessarily mean that they are right for this country.
That's
You
right.
know, so I'm just a concerned citizen. I'm a concerned mother. I feel as if that sadly, because a lot of people don't have a good image of the Pakistani community, and generally don't have a good image of Muslims in general because of the Islamic extremism, the honor killings, the grooming gangs, all those issues that we hear about all the time. I feel as if that's going to reflect badly on my children when they grow up.
That's
So
true.
the only thing I can do is speak up now when I'm young, when I've got the energy, because otherwise, if I say nothing in 10 years' time, my children are adults and the image is even worse, then I'm going to feel as if, do you know what, I could have spoken up when there was a chance when I was younger and I didn't do anything. So
Mm.
I'm just trying to be a good citizen, essentially. You know, I'm not interested in having civil wars.
Yeah.
I'm going to get beaten up from both sides in a civil war. Like, I want to
Oh
avoid a
yeah.
civil war.
It won't look best for you.
Exactly. I'm gonna, I'm a single parent, and there will be those white ethno nationalists who are racist, who don't like you and me. Okay, it doesn't matter
Hmm.
how pro Britain we are; they're not going to like us.
Yeah.
But then there's also the Islamic extremists, and those other people from my community who just don't want anyone speaking up. They see it as you're a sellout, you're an enemy now, or you're whatever, right? So my aim is to avoid a civil war, but that can only be avoided when we're honest about the issues and we sit at the table. So my
Mm.
channel essentially is to, of course, invite everyone on the table to have a chat
Right.
and give also Muslims an opportunity to discuss how they feel. And hence why I've held several public lives on my channel. I have hidden
I
a lot
see.
of the content now. So the content that
Yeah,
you
I
see,
noticed that when we were trying to do a deep research on you and watch most of your videos, we see that your channel has been running for a couple of years or months, but somehow the content that you have there looks like you have not been active for very long. So, that just indicates that you had to delete some of them. And I would like to get to the reason why you had to do such a thing.
can I just say, the date that I started the channel is not the date that I was actually posting. So I
Right.
think it will show you that I started the channel maybe in 2019 or 2020. That's
Yeah.
not when I officially started talking about the things that I was speaking about. The
Yeah,
things
for
that
sure.
I started speaking about these topics 2 years ago in 2024. So,
And it looks like for
yeah,
somebody
but I
who's
have
that,
deleted. Yeah.
yeah, it looks like you have around 30 videos on your YouTube channel now, which obviously it indicates that you were not as active as obviously many YouTubers are, which obviously is not true because you were active when I first got to see your videos a couple months ago in 2025, early 2025. But could you tell us why you had to delete most of your videos? Could you get us to where you are today?
Yeah, so I wanted to, for a long time, I wanted to discuss the topics that I'm discussing now, i.e., addressing
Right.
people's concerns about extremism, honor killings, grooming gangs, and there's other behaviors and issues and mindset issues that I have that I've observed myself and experienced with the Muslim Pakistani community in general. And it's not just Muslim Pakistanis, obviously, there's other people coming here
Yeah,
from
true.
other backgrounds as well with the wrong kind of mindset. But of course, I like speaking about people of my own race and faith because I don't want people accusing me falsely of discrimination or XYZ. So I'm like, fine, I won't talk about you guys. I'll talk about people from my
Yeah.
own heritage.
Yeah, I'll keep you
So
out. Yeah.
yeah, so I got divorced a couple of years ago. So, but when I was married, I wanted to discuss these topics. But because I was married, I was discouraged to, have talk about these topics. And I was like, okay, whatever, I don't want to get into this. So, but then when I got divorced, obviously being a free woman, I
Mm.
then started speaking about the stuff that I really wanted to actually speak about on YouTube. And then what I realized is that there was I wanted to speak about these topics, and B, there were people who wanted to listen to my opinion as being a woman who's from the community, right? So this
Yeah.
is the first time that a lot of people heard a Muslim British Pakistani lady speak up about the topics, and they were interested in hearing my view. So then I just took the journey from there essentially, and I was trying to address people's concerns. I spoke about all types of topics. I was trying to become a bridge between the Muslim Pakistani community and the native white population, in terms of, because the mindset is different. Some things that are you're allowed to do in the Pakistani culture is a no-no in the English culture. Some things that you're allowed to do in the English culture is a no-no in the Pakistani culture. So it's like you almost grow up to be schizophrenic in a way,
Hmm.
right? Because you need
Yeah.
to be two different people, one
Hmm.
inside the house, one outside the house. So I
Yeah.
thought, you know
True.
what, let me try to bridge the gap. And
Hmm.
sadly, because there are a lot of people who may have lived here for many decades, but they haven't bothered learning the language, or they don't still understand the Western mindset. I thought, do you know, I can maybe try to get through to these people. So I also created a Hindi Urdu channel as well to speak in the local language, the
Yeah.
native language. And I tried my best to essentially, be the bridge. But what I found is that, I mean, to be honest, I've been taken aback by how intolerant the community is. I didn't realize how intolerant everyone is. Like, I used to hear about honor killings and this and that. I used to think this is just stuff that happens on the news. It
Yeah.
happens in Pakistan. It's not going to happen to me. No
Yeah.
one's going to, like, I mean, I would never even think of harming any human.
Hmm.
So when I continued speaking about these things, of course, I was receiving death threats.
Right.
I've never received death threats in my whole entire life. So for someone like me to get that, like, I was shocked. And there's several times where I've tried taking a step back. I've deleted my content. It's not the first time. I've done it several times in this time period. But then each time I stopped, I felt as if, do you know what, this is going to embolden the extremists. And even though I was taking down my videos or stopping producing content, it wasn't stopping them from trying to
Coming
come
at you.
after me,
Yeah.
because they just saw me as a target now, right?
Hmm.
And also the problem with these people is each time you show any kind of weakness, they think they've won.
Yeah. They're
And they
getting
think, oh, you know what,
emboldened.
this works. Threatening people will work. So let's continue threatening more people because it's
Yeah.
going to work. And she'll back off. So each time I saw those behaviors, and I was like, do you know what? Instead of these people realizing, like, I didn't realize how bad things are. So each time I stopped out of fear, I realized I need to continue. Then I continued again. And then I had more death threats. And then I stopped.
Yeah.
And then again,
So
I
it got
reflected and
worse.
I was like, exactly. I've stopped and stopped and continued, stopped and
Yeah.
continued each time, because I'm just human. I am no Batman, Superman. Like, I don't have a team of people who can, I don't have bodyguards. I don't have anyone who's going to save me, essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm on my own. And although I do have a lot of supporters online, let's be honest, if someone comes after me, no one's going to save me. People may hear later, oh, okay, she died or whatever. She's dead now. But actually, no one's actually going to be able to do anything. So yeah, I continued on this journey, and then things got worse and worse and worse and worse. As my channel and my popularity started increasing, and especially in the Hindi Urdu channel as well. In India, when the war was breaking out between India and Pakistan, the
Yeah.
short war, the
The
Indian mainstream media channels, which are huge channels in India, they
hmm.
started picking up my content and playing my videos.
Whoa. No
When
way.
that happened, so
That's
I
a
was
huge
becoming,
problem.
yeah, so when I was becoming popular in the UK on British channels and other people inviting me and stuff like that, and
Mm.
my growth was accelerating very fast. My Indian Urdu Hindi channel was also accelerating. Again, this is the audience is completely different. So I've been successful speaking in both two different languages about similar topics, two
Hmm.
different demographics in terms of audience.
Yeah, which is
Those
quite
people are
hard as
mostly in
well.
the Indian subcontinent, whereas the people who follow me on Candid with Lubna are mostly the Western audience. So of course, so when the Indian mainstream media channels started picking up my content, that is really when the shit
Yeah.
hit the fan. And
Yeah.
I was living in Luton at the time. Now, Luton, who hasn't heard of Luton? Andrew Tate is from Luton. Tommy Robinson is from
Yeah.
Luton.
Almost everybody's from
And
Luton.
yeah, exactly. So it's a small town, but
Yeah. But a
people
lot
have
of
heard of Luton.
yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of controversial figures have emerged from Luton. A lot of also terrorists too who have been arrested have emerged from
Yeah.
Luton. So yeah, Luton has contributed the goods and the bad into the country. So yeah, Luton, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it.
Yeah, and so obviously now sitting in Luton making this content, not telling anyone that I'm in Luton. But
Oh
when
no.
people found out that
Oh
I'm from
shit.
Luton, because I used to take the taxi as well, and and there's other ways people found out, although I'm disguised and all that kind of stuff. What happened is that, of course, my popularity was increasing online, but the danger to me, the death threats were increasing. And
Yeah.
then, although I am completely hidden when I go out, I went. I went to the halal shop in the Asda, and
Okay.
when I went there and asked for meat, the guy said, "I've seen your video," and I was like,
Yeah,
and
you thought
and
you could.
and he's like, "I've seen you on TikTok." I'm like, "I'm not on TikTok." Yeah, TikTok, YouTube. I saw your video on grooming gangs, and I was like, shit,
Was
because
he
if once
Asian?
one Pakistani person knows that you live here, everyone knows. And I was like, oh my god. Then I
Oh
knew
yeah.
it's a ticking time bomb. I'm like, okay, how
Hmm.
long is it? How many people has this person told?
Hmm.
When are they going to find out where I live? Do they already know where I live? I was like, oh my god. And I had a massive panic attack because that wasn't a small thing. That's like someone now knows this is me. And although I'm hidden, like God knows how many more people will know where I am.
Yeah.
Then I was really, really sad and upset. I don't know who to call. I had a chat with Paul Thorpe. I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, they found out where they're going to know where I live now. They're going to follow me and all that kind of stuff. And I spoke to him, and then he was trying to reassure me, but obviously no one can really help, right? And then what
Yeah.
happened
True.
is, yeah, within days or within a week or two, people were at my door essentially. And I had the taxi drivers following me. I had it was horrible. And I had people at my
Wait.
door.
Really? Like people turned up to your door?
People turned up. Yeah.
How
People.
quickly did that happen after the guy told you that he knows you from TikTok? How quickly
Well,
did that happen?
it was quick. I think they already knew where I was, to be honest. But obviously, when the meat man, told me, and I'm like, no, that's not me, that's not me. I'm like, that's my sister, and I was just bullshitting. I was just like, that's not me, that's not me. And he was like, no,
My
no, that
twin
was you, that was
sister.
me. Yeah, I made it. I was like, obviously, I was panicking. I'm like, that's not me, that's not me. I was
Yeah.
denying that it's me in the video, and I was like, that's my sister, that's not me. But then he was like, I've seen you on TikTok, I've seen you on YouTube. You're talking about the grooming gangs. I was like, oh my god. So
Yeah.
I panicked. And then, like I said, and then, yeah, then it went from bad to worse. And then people following me around, and people were turning up at my door. There were different cars. And obviously, I'm not going to stick around. I'm opening
Yeah.
the door there, kind of thing. And then, yeah, I had to leave. I'd called the police. The police came. I was shaking. They advised that I leave the house for a couple of days and come back. Yeah, but they know where I live. I'm not going to come back and go where? Do what? Live in this house and wait for someone to stab me? No, thank you. Then, yeah,
Yeah.
I left the house. I did my live. I was really upset. And then even during the live, I think it's a group of people, maybe friends or a gang. I don't know. They came during the live and they were messaging there as well. That ha ha ha. They were coming backstage as well and writing comments.
Oh
And
no.
essentially, it's the same people who were turning up at my door. So it was a
So
mess.
so so
I just left. I left my house, and yeah, and that's it. Then things
and
and
then
have not been the same for me since.
so okay, not to try get whoever is watching to know where you live. How far did you have to run away from where you grew up?
I'm not going to obviously discuss any of that because I've not just changed house, I've changed my phone number, I've changed everything around
So
to and my phone number I had for a long time. And so I've lost all those contacts, and I've shared my new number with very, very, very few people. Like, even I had contacts, like YouTube contacts, right, from
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
Indian subcontinent and other YouTubers and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't given anyone my contact details. Like, very few
Yeah.
people have.
Yeah, you
So,
can't really
'cause
trust
I don't
nobody
trust
now.
anyone, because I'll give it to one person, they'll give it to another person,
Yeah.
and then I don't know where the hell it's gone. So, I don't discuss anything at all. But essentially, all I could say is that it's tricky, right? Because I don't know who to trust. I have not been the same. Even before, when I was doing YouTube, I was disguised, and I'm always hidden. But even more so now, I'm always looking over my shoulder,
Yeah, I'm
and
sure you're paranoid every time, innit?
I'm just not the same. I can't meet people. I don't meet people. I don't trust anyone. And I miss human contact. My social skills have really, really suffered now because I've
Yeah.
literally been in isolation, more or less. So my social skills are not the same as, you speaking to you online is, I mean, how do I even know you're real, or you
Exactly.
can be AI, right?
Exactly.
But when you
Yeah.
meet humans and you're talking to someone face to face with a body language, that's different. So
Mm.
yeah, it's been a bit of a mess, and I don't know what the future holds. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really sorry for what you had to go through. I mean, that's really horrible, the fact that you had to change almost every single thing that you knew had to basically be changed, rewire yourself, new location, everything. And especially being a mother as well, a single mother, I'm sure that made it even difficult because, of course, not just caring for yourself, but you had to take care of your child. That's
Yeah, my
that's hard.
children, yeah.
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. You know, this channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14. On and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back. And now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please, hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, so I think what was more hard for me was how my relatives didn't, especially my siblings, they didn't bother with me. That was more
Wait, so
hard.
you have families, you have mom, dad,
I've
family,
got
brothers and sisters. Did they?
not a father. I was raised in a single parent household. My father
Right.
died 10 years ago,
I'm
but
sorry.
my parents divorced when I was very young. But I have an older brother, I've got two sisters, and then there's me.
Wait,
I'm the
so
youngest in the family.
you have an older brother. I mean, how
Yeah.
physically incompetent is he? Did he somehow come to your aid?
No, no, no. No one helped me. But I think that the problem, and I don't want to talk too much about my siblings, but because I don't want to be unfair to them, but
Yeah.
my brother's married to a Pakistani lady, and my sister's married to a Pakistani man, and they don't like me, essentially. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, because they're from Pakistan, they particularly do not like what I talk about, right? Because I'm talking about Pakistanis, especially those born and bred in Pakistan, like them, and their mindset is obviously way more different. And I don't want to give these people any airtime because they don't deserve it. But I mean, I appreciate my brother and sisters have their own issues, and however, I think that had they been in my position and had I been in their position, I would have picked up the phone at least and asked them, are they okay?
Yeah.
And although since then, it's been like 9 months now, right, since I left my house. Obviously now I am in touch with two of them. One of my sisters I blocked because of the way she behaved at the time and all the stuff that happened after. She essentially said, I'm alone in this. And then I blocked her. I said,
That's
fine, you
your
know what?
blood sister, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, that's family divided right there. How deep is this situation really is? How close is this really is to their heart for them to basically discard one of their family members?
Um, the intolerance within the community is very, very high because they're not used to hearing someone like, I'm unusual, right? Because mostly someone from my background would be an apologist for Muslims, would be an apologist for Pakistanis. You see those social media influencers all the time who just try to brush things under the carpet, who try
Yeah.
to point the fingers at other people.
Yeah, it's
That
not
is the
that deep.
common,
Yeah.
that's what people expect. That you're part of the community, you defend the community, you defend Muslims, you defend Pakistanis, and oh, everyone's got bad stuff, everyone's got bad apples, we're not anything unique. People like me are not common. So because I'm the first type, actually, they're like, they don't know what to make of me, no one knows what to make of me. And so yeah, so that's tricky. So I am in touch with two of my brother, one brother and one sister, so two of my siblings, not that closely, but like very, like I haven't blocked them essentially, but one sister I have blocked, and I have no plans of unblocking her, because the fact is, a friend in need is a friend indeed, right? When people say blood is thicker than water, that's nonsense. All the people that helped me were people I've never met. These
Right.
were people online who helped me in my time of need, and I'm never ever going to forget them. And I would like to again say thank you to every single person who helped me. God bless you all. Whether you were a YouTuber speaking about my plight, whether you were someone who financially supported me, whether you watched my video, whether you shared the link of my video, or even if you've prayed for me, any single little thing that or big that you've done, like God bless you. And I really, really do pray that God returns the goodness that you've given to me like tenfold. So,
Amen.
and this is what really annoys me when Muslims keep banging on about scripture and they're talking about how the Jews and the Christians will never
Yeah,
be.
just I got that video prepared. Is it okay if I just play it for context? Because
Sure, sure.
I wanted to get more deep response from yourself on this. So you had this guy called Saeed Butt who's running for Birmingham seat right now, and he was asked whether, well, he was speaking if Pakistanis and Muslims, basically Muslims, should not unite with Christians and Jews because Muslims will always defend each other, blah blah blah. And this is what you had to say.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, do not take the Jews or Christians as your friends and protectors. People say, oh, what you say, we can't make friends. You understand the verse, understand the context. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you that these people, the disbelievers, will never be satisfied with you. No matter how much you bend over for them, they will never ever be satisfied. So stick with your deen, stick with the Muslims, and for good or for worse, hold your ground. Yep.
So obviously he's saying the Muslims will, and the Christians and the Jews, sorry, the Christians, the Jews, and the non-believers, I guess, will never come to your aid and help you out. And now we have a situation where you needed help and none of them helped you out. I mean,
Exactly. Exactly. The Muslims never helped me out. It was literally more than if more than 1,000 people helped me, there would be one Muslim. And all the people that helped me were Hindus, Christians, Jewish people, atheists, even
yeah,
Sikhs. Everyone helped me apart from the Muslims. And it's funny where he's talking about how they're not going to help you and all that, and you can bend over backwards, and you can say the same thing about Muslims, right? For Muslims, you can't be Muslim enough. A lot of these Muslims are hypocrites themselves. They won't pray 5 times a day and they won't do all the stuff, or they will do the stuff, but then they will do bad stuff. And they're complete hypocrites. But then they will always try to make you feel guilty for not being Muslim enough. So the fact that I openly say, I actually proudly say I'm not religious. Even that is like, how dare you be proud of not being religious? Like you should be, even if you're not a good Muslim, just, the fact that you're proud, you proudly and confidently say that you're not religious. Even that is like, how dare you? And I am proud to be not a
so
religious Muslim, because a lot of these religious Muslims are complete nutcases. They would
yeah.
pray 5 times a day and then do bad stuff,
So
right?
what does being do you think they care more about the numbers in the group who associate to Islam than the actual practice and the actions that these guys actually do?
I would say that what I've heard since growing up is you're not even a Muslim if you don't pray 5 times a day. Now, since most Muslims do not actually pray, but get 5 times a day, they don't even pray once a day. I would say most Muslims are not Muslims, actually. If they go by their own criteria, they're not Muslims. And
Right.
if I'm being honest about that, I'm not religious because I don't pray 5 times a day. Like I will do it ad hoc whenever I want, kind of thing. That's a bad thing, but I'm doing exactly what everyone else is doing. I'm just being honest about it. So I would say
Yeah.
most people are not Muslims anyway. However, yes, there is a focus on the quantity of Muslims more than the quality. And this is
Right.
why, okay, you can say the Shahada and you become a Muslim, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't, when people are converting someone to Islam, they won't necessarily even make sure if this person understands what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you believe in
I see.
the prophet was the last prophet,
Yeah.
and all this kind of
You
stuff.
say the
And
words.
and the Quran, exactly, the Quran is the last word of God. Okay, fantastic. Now just say the Shahada, you're a Muslim now, and then that convert will learn about Islam and all the things that essentially then a lot of people do leave Islam then, right? Because they're like,
Mm.
hold on, I
I
didn't
didn't sign up to
actually
this.
understand what I'm getting myself into. Plus, I didn't even know there's apostasy laws where if I leave Islam, there's death. So I feel the people who are converting, they're focused on quantity. I feel like the people that are converting people don't care about the quality. They don't care whether the person actually understands what they're getting themselves into. I feel there's a lot of intellectual dishonesty with the people converting. They're not telling everything, especially like apostasy laws and those kind of
Mm-hmm.
things. So, yeah, there is a focus on quantity, whereas I'm interested in the quality. I would rather have something of high quality and it
Yeah.
be less in number than quantity of rubbish,
Yeah.
essentially.
True.
Yeah.
No, it looks like that's what it is. It's more rather. just identify as this, and then speak highly of this group online, and every time when somebody mess up, don't try to scrutinize them publicly or even privately as well. I don't think they go privately try to fix it up, because obviously all of those people always defend each other, and they still do exactly the same thing publicly. Now,
It's a cult mentality.
yeah,
It's a
it sounds like a
tribal
go on.
cult. But can I just say what my issue is that when I see white converts do the same things
The ginger ones.
as anyone, I know that a lot of ginger people do convert, but like
There's
a
a lot.
lot of converts are ginger. But yeah, what's disappointing for me is when someone who is a white convert, I see that they could be someone who could be a bridge builder, but they
Right.
also start engaging in this cult mentality. It's like they're completely brainwashed. For me, it's quite disappointing. I know that Muslims can be quite tough in terms of trying to deal with them, and it's easy to kind of get just jump on the bandwagon of the cult mentality and be very tribal and brotherhood and this kind of stuff. However, it takes a great deal of strength of character to, say what's right.
Yeah, to call
Don't do
somebody
what's
out.
easy, do what is right. And yeah, when I see converts behave into this, I'm like, do you know what? I don't care whether you convert to Islam, whether you leave Islam, but like, at least stick up for what's right and don't just jump on the bandwagon. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but yeah.
Do you think it's because there's a lot of pressure there? Because we see it with Andrew Tate, where he always gets called a fake Muslim. He always gets criticized by a lot of Muslims every time when he does something that's for them, they call it haram, or maybe he doesn't stick up for the Muslims, or maybe he's doing gambling and all the crazy stuff that he does, and a lot of Muslims are always coming after him. But obviously, because Andrew Tate can actually, intellectually protect himself and physically protect himself, he has those resources to do so. And many other, small little converts, like maybe a little ginger guy who converted, it doesn't have that much resources to him for him to stand up to it and say what's the right thing. Do you think that's the reason? Because you have to be able to know, like, all right, if I say something, they're gonna come after me, and I need to protect myself. And most people don't know how to protect themselves, and there's no way to protect themselves. I mean, look at your situation right now. Although I am very happy that nothing has happened to you, and I hope that remains that way. But it looks like they're walking on the tight rope when you're a Muslim. It's like you can't step out the line because everybody's gonna come at you. Do you think there's some sort of like a pressure to stay in the line?
Yeah, there is definitely, because the community is quite intolerant. Can I just say about Andrew Tate that Muslims are not attacking Andrew Tate because he gambles or he smokes or he has sex outside of marriage, potentially, whatever. Muslims don't care about any of those things because Muslims themselves do all of those things. The issue that Muslims are having is that before they loved him because he converted to Islam, right? And because he was, he was like one of the most popular people in terms of search results and stuff like that. People were Googling him and all that kind of stuff. So when he became a Muslim, Muslims were happy that, okay, he's going to convert more people now, right? They saw it as a publicity thing, like marketing technique. However, when Andrew Tate rejected being a sheep, because they thought he's a Muslim now and Andrew Tate should now do whatever we're telling him to do, like Mohammed Hijab, for example, thought that Andrew Tate will now become his bitch or whatever, and will do whatever Mohammed Hijab wants or side with Mohammed Hijab. And Andrew Tate didn't actually do that. What Andrew Tate did is he was still talking to everybody, whether it's Katie Hopkins, whether it's people on the far right, what people are deemed far right, anyone who's on the right, and then anyone who's critical of like immigration, because Andrew Tate was speaking to all of these people, like everyone, whether you're Jewish or whatever, non-Jewish or Hindu or whatever. And he's also quite critical of immigration. That's when the Muslims turned on him, because Muslims actually don't care about Islam. What they care about is just protecting their own interests. So when Andrew Tate is like, England should remain English, it should remain white, is, when he said stuff like that, obviously the third world Muslims, for example, Pakistan, Bangladesh, they all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, we don't care about Islam now. We don't care whether this person is converted into Muslim because this person is saying something that doesn't benefit us anymore, right? He's against mass migration, and we want mass migration because we're trying to convert people. We're trying to take over the first world because our own country is a third world. So when they saw that as a threat, then they started attacking him. So yes, they may say, oh, we're attacking him because he's not a good Muslim. That's nonsense. That is absolute gutter. Okay. That's just nonsense.
Is it? I think, yeah, I agree with that. I think it also is because Andrew Tate in a sense, doesn't need them. Because it was the most Googled search man in the world before converting to Islam. So I would say Islam has probably reduced his credibility among every single person in the world, because now he chose a side. He should have just remained as neutral, and he could have said anything that he wants.
I think it's tricky. I don't believe. I think that everyone's personal belief is a personal choice. I don't care whether he converts to Islam. I don't care whether he leaves Islam. I don't care whether he becomes an atheist. Like, it's none of my business. But I do feel there are too many people who are too concerned about other people's religious beliefs.
Yeah.
When someone converting to Islam, doesn't mean that Islam is true now, and someone popular leaving Islam doesn't mean that it's false now. Like, what you and I believe even has no bearing to the truth. There's only truth. There's only one truth, but we all think we know the truth, or we have the truth. You know, no one would want to believe in something if they thought it was false, and we all can't be right either. Or maybe there's truth in all of our beliefs. So I think the thing with him is that he is getting attacked quite a lot by Muslims. They're all bastards, the ones who are attacking him. Can I just swear here? All of these people, the Dawa gang, for example, they are Muslim scumbags. The Dawa gang, Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawa, and this crazy nutcase lady who claims on. Yeah, so their little gang, they don't mind Sneeko, who does like Nazi poses. And he's like, I see him as a complete useless Muslim, but they don't mind.
I don't even consider him as a Muslim, to be fair.
He's, again, like, I would say he's just an immature idiot. But
he's
they're
like a baby,
they're inviting Sneeko on their Muslim channels and talking about how, oh yes, we know that Sneeko's not, he's not perfect. He's not a perfect Muslim. He was also clubbing as well with Andrew Tate, but because he's not against mass migration, they're not saying this, but this is what they're actually thinking. Because he's not against mass migration from the third world countries, either rapists and the murderers. We don't have an issue with Sneeko, but because Andrew Tate has an issue with the Pakistani grooming gangs and the rapists and the fake asylum seekers, let's go after Andrew Tate now. So these people are scumbags. They don't care about Islam. Yeah, and actually, what I feel is that Andrew Tate is probably regretting converting to Islam, and if he does end up leaving Islam, this would be a big this would be, what can I say, a slap on their face, essentially, the Dawa gang's face, and maybe that's what they deserve.
Yeah, because I think it will be one of the biggest loss for them publicly, in a sense where when he joined, a lot of people celebrated. A lot of Muslim podcasters brought him on to basically give them the wisdom and stuff. And I'm sure all of those guys will come online and talk about how well, they're already doing it. So if he leaves now publicly, a lot of people will laugh at the religion themselves, and I think he's gonna put his life in danger. But of course, I didn't bring you here to talk about Andrew Tate, but it's interesting to get your take on this stuff. Now, I was listening to your video.
Can I just say one point? One point? The thing is, because Muslims are so intolerant, if Andrew Tate ever does leave the religion, there's two things. One, it will increase the confidence of other people to leave the religion, and people will probably end up leaving in masses. But because they're going to end up leaving in masses, someone will sadly think, or a lot of people from the Islamic extremists may think that they need to assassinate him. God forbid, right? They may see as a need, because if he leaves Islam, he will create so many apostates that the extremists will see him as a threat. And so sadly, he's put himself in danger now, I feel. So I feel really sorry for Andrew Tate, actually. That's why sometimes you may see my posts on X. Not that I post much on X, because I don't like it. It's a cesspit of toxicity. But when I do, and I delete my tweets all the time.
Thank you so much. You just mentioned that. I think X is it's a platform where, especially after they made it paid, where people can get paid for saying stuff. I think that made X, distasteful.
Yeah, people just say I only joined it 1 year ago only to post a link to my YouTube channel so people know that I've posted a new video, etc. But I don't engage in tweets and stuff like that because then people are going to reply to me, then I'm going to reply to them, and it's just stupid. And then people start screenshotting stuff. Even if I'm saying stuff as a joke, like it's literally I'm just laughing, I'm bored, and I'm writing shit, right? I'm tweeting shit.
I think you did a lot like that. You did a lot of that last week.
Yeah, and I deleted the shit. And then I was like, then people are sending me screenshots of the shit that I deleted. I was like, I was literally joking, guys. Seriously. I'm like, oh my God, this is so dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I think you made a post saying if they should deport you or something. I'm not thinking, hey, Lubna, what the fuck you talking about? And a lot of people was, especially on X, I think you made a poll on YouTube, which was obviously more favored to you. But the polls on X was just like, I'm like, bro, why on X?
But the Pakistanis and Muslims are probably the ones who voted anyway. Let's be honest. They're like, okay, now she's here. She's doing a poll. Let's go. So we don't know who's voted. Anyone,
and they screenshotted that and they posted it saying they're gonna, they start saying that you're useful idiots, whatever, saying that the far right will deport you and stuff, even though it shows that they voted to deport you as well. So it's like, what?
Just a quick pause, guys. I really do need to talk to you guys honestly for a moment. You know, this channel means everything to me, right? It means absolutely the world to me. I give everything I can. I think it's my favorite part of the day, sitting here and reporting to you guys, or going outside and doing heavy reports outside. And I've been doing this since I was 14, on and off. I've quit multiple times. I've come back. I've quit. I've come back, and now I'm here. And we're here to stay. This is the next 40 years plan for me. But honestly, lately, it's been really heavy on me. Not the work, of course. I enjoy doing this. But carrying the work alone, fighting for stories, trying to highlight these stories that matters, especially when it feels like nobody's listening and need your help. I wouldn't be asking if I truly didn't need your support. So if you believe in what we're doing here, if you believe in what I'm doing, what we're trying to build the next 30 years, if you've ever felt like this show speaks for you, I'm asking you as a friend, please keep this show going. Your support will mean more than you will ever know. And together we can finally wake up the ones who are still asleep with the truth, because the nation is desperately asking for it. So please hit the first link in the description if you can and support the channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back into the video.
Now, you made a video and you called it a rant. And I think that video was like 30 minutes long. And it was actually a beautiful rant. And you mentioned there that when you get old in the next 10 years, assuming you're not killed yet. And to myself, I was thinking, what do you mean by assuming you're not killed yet? Are you expecting, is there something that you're really worried about, thinking that it's going to get worse? You think it's not fixed yet? Could you try to break that down, why somebody would want to assassinate you?
Well, it's the same reasons why I fled my hometown of Luton. I get death threats all the time. People turned up once to my house and some people are still after me. They're still trying to find out where I live. You know, you get crazy people. These people that we're dealing with are not normal people. And if you don't mind, since I launched my book, 2035 Britain.
Yeah, we're going to get into that as well. What a beautiful setting.
This is causing most of the death threats have increased tenfold because since I've released this book 2 weeks ago. And then because of this book, then I've had to take down a lot more videos again. I've made some videos that are there membership only now. Mm-hmm. So the intolerance levels of the community, you know, they're very intolerant. They don't want anyone to speak up or say anything. So they do, and it's a shame actually, because where people are creative in terms of, they could be content creators, they could be singers, writers, or whatever. When you are so intolerant and you're discouraging people to just let their skills go free, right? How is a community, how is a society supposed to grow and develop if you're going to stunt people's ability, right? So I shouldn't be creating content. I shouldn't be making videos. I shouldn't be writing anything. I shouldn't be doing anything that they don't want me to do. So it's suffocating.
Yeah, it's quite strange where, I mean, these are stuff that you see happening in a tribal third world country where it's like a tribal mentality where it's like, yeah, we don't want to keep the pack. We don't want nobody going outside and you humiliating us and this and this and this and this. And the fact that this is taking place in Britain, it's kind of worrying, doesn't it? Because I mean, if it's happening in a first world country, where are you gonna run to? Because you can't run back to Pakistan for safety.
I would say if I ever landed in Pakistan, I would probably be shot at the airport. So, yeah, I'm not planning to visit Pakistan again. My parents were born in Pakistan. I have visited it several times. But, I mean, the people who are born and bred here are so intolerant. Can you imagine the intolerance of the people actually born and bred in Pakistan who've never even left Pakistan, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of these people have never left Pakistan. They don't know anything about aside from Islam and Pakistan. So yeah, it is scary. And I think this is my concern that we're in 2026 and already people think it's okay to send people death threats and essentially get away with it. We've heard of instances, right, where people are attacked, and if someone has burnt scripture, they've even been shot in Sweden, for example.
Yeah, that's it.
That guy, and again,
Salman.
I condemn anyone. I condemn anyone. I want to make sure this is clear. I condemn anyone who burns anyone's scripture, but that doesn't mean I think it's okay to kill people if someone's
Yeah,
done it, right?
I think, especially if they pay their own money to get their hands on that book themselves. I think since I got myself this phone, I think if I was to burn this phone, I don't expect Tim Cook hunting me down. But then again, yeah, I get it. You know, it's a scripture. It's a holy book. I'm sure that it's very delicate to a lot of people. They hold it close to their heart. So I'm sure there's a lot of emotion into it. But I don't expect that to be valued higher than somebody else's life.
Yeah, like I think intent does matter. So if people are doing things deliberately to annoy people, to upset people, like I said, I condemn that because I'm someone who's trying to build bridges. I wouldn't deliberately say bad things about other people's religion or stuff just to, out of hatred and stuff. And I don't like that kind of behavior. However, even if someone was doing that to me, I wouldn't think, oh, it's okay to kill them then, right? Because that's just messed up. That's the third world mentality. But sadly, yeah, in the Western world, you're right. You're absolutely right that we've got ex-Muslims coming to the UK. We've got other people who have been persecuted by Muslims who are coming into the West. And then where are all these people supposed to go? And people like me who are just, where I'm open-minded. I would say I'm liberal. And someone like me who liberal.
Okay.
As in, I'm open-minded. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. We're gonna get more into your politics. We're gonna cover a lot of stuff. I don't know how much I have with you here, but I just wanted to get more into your story. But it's very fascinating, and it's so concerning the fact that you have to go through all this stuff in the UK, that being, and for a crime that that nobody can actually point to of the wrongs that you've committed. Now, there's a video that my team got a hold of, which was, I think it was you being interviewed, and you spoke about you, because of course now you obviously I'll consider you as an activist. I'm not sure if that's a great description on your about you.
No, no, don't call me. Yeah, I don't know what I am. I'm just a concerned citizen, to be honest.
All right, concerned citizen. Okay, so now I consider you as a concerned citizen, and so you're out there trying to, create a bridge where you can get these two communities to basically come together and unite and ease the tension a little bit. And this video I got a hold of is where you now are in a position where you're struggling to, given the amount of people you spoke to, given the amount of threats you've gone through, given that you have to go back and forth, you have to change houses and all the crazy stuff that you've been getting, death threats. Now you are struggling to find the good apples. I mean, let me just play the clip so I can give the viewers more context, and also to remind you as well of when it was and what sort of thing that was happening to your life back then, so you can give.
Oh, can I just say I will need to go in 5 minutes. If that's okay. I can only stay for 1 full hour. So that's fine. Just let you know. All right. Thank you.
Folks, we've lost her in the next 5 minutes. We're gonna lose her, but let's cover this then. Let's cover this then. So let's play this video, and you can tell us more about it.
What's going on is that I have completely underestimated how much of a big problem we have in the UK. I thought this was just a few bad apples, and you know what? On my channel, I'm going to be able to solve it. All the peaceful moderate Muslims, which are the majority, I'm told myself, right, by everyone who talks about this topic, all the peaceful moderate Muslims are going to speak up. We're going to unite. And we're not going to let these stupid extremists make us all look like extremists. And boy, I was very wrong. No, there are not just a few bad apples. For me, I'm struggling to find the good apples, and I'm from within this community.
So now talk to me. You are struggling to find the good apples. Could you tell us more how you got to that conclusion?
So, in my mind, it's not just the rapists and Islamic extremists and those people who are physically doing honor killings that are the issue. My issue is with anyone who doesn't think there's an issue with these things. So they may not be doing the stuff themselves, but if they are essentially apologists, or if they're downplaying, or they're trying to distract us away from the extremists because they don't want us to do something about the extremists and handle them. I see those people as an issue as well. So you may have heard the term as well, where people talk about this, where the Islamic extremists, for example, are the snakes, and then the peaceful moderate Muslims are the grass hiding the snake. And what I would say is that's not true, because yes, we have the snakes, and yes, we have the grass hiding the snake, but the grass hiding the snake are not peaceful moderate Muslims. They are people pretending to be peaceful moderate Muslims, and they're very much complicit. I would say a true peaceful moderate Muslim would be, for example, the lawnmower that would get rid of the grass and the snake. So, and I see myself as that. So if you are hiding the snake, if you're the snake or you're hiding the snake, I will have an issue with you. So since the majority of Muslims and Pakistanis that I have come across, whether online or in person, they either don't see an issue with these extremism. They think, oh yeah, because of the wars that have happened in the West are bombed and stuff. And of course that is wrong. Like bombing and the weapons of mass destruction and all that nonsense and killing millions of people, like, or hundreds and thousands, however many lost their lives, was disgusting. That doesn't mean I think, oh, it's okay to blow people up now. Oh, it's okay to like drive your car in the Christmas market. And although when you speak to Muslims and Pakistanis, they will say, of course, that's not okay. But then they'll always have a but. But this happened. But that happened. That's the excuse. It's mentally in their mind that they're justifying it. And I have an issue with that kind of mindset. So yeah, the genuine peaceful moderate Muslims are very few in number. A few of them have come on my lives and on my channel when I do general lives and I open them to the public. And, I will have Muslims who will come on and they would say, do you know what, you're right. I've got an issue with extremism as well. I'm just scared of speaking up. I do get messages and on my Instagram, on my X and YouTube from the real genuine peaceful moderate Muslims. However, the numbers are very few in comparison to all the people who are the grass or the snake.
Right.
The lawn mowers. And let's be honest, if these lawn mowers are the real genuine peaceful moderate Muslims are not willing to speak up, then they're lawn mowers that don't work. They're damaged goods, and therefore they are no use to me. I'm only interested in those lawn mowers that actually work and they can actually get rid of the grass and the snake. Does that make sense? So so there are very few peaceful moderate Muslims. Most of them are useless.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy there. The grass, the snake, and we need a lawnmower to wipe them out, in a sense where nothing will be hidden and then no grass will grow for a snake to come back and hide in there.
Can I just explain one thing is very important?
I want to get into your book for the next, I think we got 2 minutes before you cut off. So tell us about your book, because this is Britain in 2035. Tell us more about that. How does that look like in your book?
Can I just say one thing about this analogy that I've given?
Yeah.
So when I gave this analogy on my channel, Again, a nutcase Muslim wrote, "You, Lubna, use genocidal language saying mowing the lawn, the same dehumanizing language Satan Yahoo used to justify his genocide of Palestinians. Then you followed it up saying kill the snake, which you referred to as extremist Muslims, and kill the grass, moderate Muslims not condemning the extremists enough. Hiding the snake before you edited and modified it. You make me feel nauseated and sick to the stomach. You are no different than the extremists you condemn." I.e., so basically, when I'm giving an analogy, again, what the intolerant Muslims hear is, "Oh, she's asking us to be killed now." And I'm like, I never said any of that. I'm literally just giving an analogy. These people are crazy.
And the fact that and the fact that that's what that's the reaction, it just shows that they are the snake.
Or the grass. They
Or the grass.
lawnmower.
So it's like it's like them just coming out. Maybe the police should investigate. Because what they're trying to do, because if a snake is in the grass, the first thing it's doing is looking for something to strike, and we've seen a lot of example of that, and we have a lot of MPs in Parliament who are acting as the grass, who are hiding the snakes, and we got convicted terrorists who are publicly running to become a. I do not think we're gonna be in this situation where a convicted terrorist who wanted to go out there and bomb and blow up the British consulate in Yemen now wants to run to become a chancellor. It's like, oh God, can we get Osama bin Laden as well in Parliament? Is this what we're gonna do now? what the heck? What's going on?
I know it's really stupid, but I think it's good though he's running. But the reason is because that when things like this happen, it may cause the laws to change, because the fact that he's able to run shows that there's a weakness in the system where
there's a leak.
He's able to run. So this may actually start something positive where the rules may end up changing and say, actually, if you're a convicted terrorist or whatever, you can't run for these positions. So it may end up working in our favor.
Yeah, we might have to review and pass some legislation and get some bills signed up. But then again, every single time when this happens, it doesn't just go after the terrorists, but it goes, it also restricts our movement, our rights too, because they always exaggerate the bill rather than the actual problem. Because you see in Australia where Bondi Beach attack happens, and the bill that now they're pushing, they're not even addressing radical Islam. They're trying to just take everybody's guns, and they're trying to blame on far right, even though it was actually a radical Islamist who took out their guns and they went to kill over 15 people. It's insane. But before we let you go here, Lubna, walk me through your book, Britain 2030 or 2035. Sorry, 2025. 2035. God, what's going on? Tell me more about it, because I look at the setting. There's a story. There's a little girl that you've described in the book. I don't know how little she is. Layla. It's a beautiful name. How do you get to that name? Could you walk us through that and how you got here, and how it looks in the next 10 years?
Yeah, this book I've written within a month. Every single word is mine. No, it's not AI. I've written the whole thing. And for those of you guys who have read it, you can sense the authenticity in this book. It's called 2035 Britain, A Candid Story. This is essentially a semi-autobiography. And this is a fiction book inspired by true events. Right. And it has received, so far, the last time I checked, 47 5-star reviews on Amazon. So all the reviews that I've received are 5-star. And I released it 2 weeks ago. And I've said behind the book, it says, the book is set in Britain in the year 2035. The native white British population is reducing faster than had been previously predicted, with the country experiencing an immigration apocalypse. The threat from Islamic extremists is at an all-time high and civil war is brewing. The story is about Layla, a British-born Muslim lady of Pakistani heritage who dares to speak up during these challenging times. It follows her journey as an outspoken woman who is on a mission to unite the kingdom. She aims to encourage positive social reform in the Muslim Pakistani community, a community that is infamous for being intolerant. As she continues to speak up, she comes face to face with Islamic extremists, and from then on, it becomes a race against time. Does she unite the kingdom? But most importantly, does she survive? So this is the first book in the series. This is a series. It's a novella. It's not a massive novel that is going to take you weeks and months to read.
Yeah.
And most people have read it within a few hours, and the
Yeah,
reviews
it
have
looks
been absolutely amazing. So if you're concerned about what's happening in the UK and all the things we discuss on Candid with Lubna, this book will be of interest to you. Yeah.
And let me just, I'm sure a lot of people have this in their mind. I had this in my mind too, reading the thesis of it. And there's a name, Layla, a British Muslim Pakistani girl. Is that you?
It's a semi-autobiography.
It's a semi-autobiography, so I'm assuming this is based on true story as well. Great stuff. But thank you so much for coming on. I know you gotta run. It will be cool to have you on again, where we can go deeper into it. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. Sadiq Khan. We're going to cover the.
Can you do me one favor?
Yeah, big one.
Can you do me
Go
one
on.
favor? The ugly picture of me that you guys have put on the thumbnail, can you please change? The picture is so ugly. I know I've got chubby cheeks and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you guys can find a better picture, please.
I think the thumbnail designer did good, to be fair.
Oh my!
No.
Oh, are you trying to say I'm ugly? And actually,
No, I think
look...
that picture. You look good. Can I really? Do I even? Hold on. Let me actually see it on here.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Let me actually see. How is this bad? This is good.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we'll get that change. We'll get that change for sure. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed speaking to you, and it'll be cool to do it again, where we can cover more of the current stuff. But it was good to get more detail and more information about your life, especially knowing that you was a geek. I didn't think that. You was a geek in school then? I think just an average. To be fair, yeah, a lot of Muslim Pakistani women are actually geeks, to be fair. I have to give you that. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that. I forgot that one. Were you wearing a hijab when you were in school?
No. Not hijab. Oh, okay. But I had really long hair. So my hair was so long, it was like down to my knees. And I used to wear a plait. Yeah, I used to have 2 clips on.
Wow. That's pretty cool. But yeah, although the stuff that's been going on with yourself, I hope you stay well. Keep yourself. I mean, I don't know how you can do it. I mean, how do you do it? Don't tell us. Somebody could be listening. Somebody's trying to crack the code. But I hope you stay safe. In the next 10 years, I wanna. Since you say that you're gonna be an elderly lady, I don't know how old you'll be in the next 10 years. But I hope what you envision does not happen, because of course that's kind of crazy for somebody, for that to happen. But although the future right now doesn't look as bright, hopefully with your voice, because I believe your voice is super necessary among many other voices that I've come across online. I hope there's many other people who come to life and start speaking up, because the more people that speak up, it'll be harder to intimidate. You are people who are actually talking about this, so it's easier for them to intimidate everyone. So thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Bye now. So then I was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania. At the time, there's so many people ran there. A lot of people were going there, real refugees, after being butchered from the civil war that erupted in Congo. My parents applied for asylum to all the countries. They waited. Now, then I was born in that camp, the same camp. I'm talking tents. I was born there. Now, we're waiting for 14 years. We were waiting. Now, of course, these guys could choose to wait as well, but these guys hijacked that and they come in the country illegally. Now, the media will brand you guys racist, far right, the worst people here, the worst group here. How come the good group didn't invite me to go speak over there? So I call this the greatest awakening, because all the way from over there, there's hundreds of people turning up. It's a Saturday, for God's sake. They could easily go around and watch football and have fun, go on a date, do all the lovely stuff they could do. But instead, they want to stand here, rain or not, they're ready to send a message. And I believe the message will be received today. Thank you so much.
For anybody in the back who struggled to hear this young man's story, what incredible, brave